what we do, we only do things for two reasons. We do them because we're avoiding pain. We don't want to hurt. That's the bulk of people's behaviors, is designed to avoid pain. On the other hand, when you're really successful, you know how to create pleasure for yourself. Now let's understand the psychology of this too. Why are we so darn good at beating ourselves up and we're less good at rewarding and pleasuring ourselves? Well, it's in the cultural software. If you want to be depressed, if you want to be negative, you're going to have a whole bunch of people want to go to lunch with you and talk about how depressed they are and how hard their life is. But if you want to go to lunch and talk about how amazing you are and how extraordinary your life is, you have less people that want to chat about that. So when we look at the support system that we're building, you've got to build a massive support system that's going to support your change. Now, the second thing comes out of this family of origin. I want you to think about little Billy when he's playing. Now, all parents know that a child has a certain range of, you look at my sisters, you probably leave them alone for 5 minutes and they were fine. Little Billy, man, it was about 15 seconds and I was into something. So my mom knew, all moms know, all dads know when to check on a child. So if you look in at a child and they're behaving, you go, man, that's awesome. You go away. You look in on them again. They're doing well. You go away. You look on again. They're doing well. It's just, man, this is just an awesome day. This is a great morning. You go away. You look in on them the next time and they're causing problems. You're in yelling at them. Little Billy, stop that. You know you're not supposed to do that. You give them pain. Now, you've all heard the truism that bad publicity is better than no publicity at all. And while you might intellectually understand that, you really don't emotionally understand that, because you think, well, no, I don't want bad publicity. I'd rather fly under the radar. Yeah, again, that's not true, because we're now into studies. We know how and why people behave the way they do. So in this metaphor of when the child misbehaves, they get pain, and when they're behaving well, they get nothing. On the flip side, because now there's more time spent here, on the flip side, if they come to you and say, hey mom, hey dad, I want you, and you say, hey, just a moment, and they're good, and they go away, and they're good, and they go away, and finally they go, no, I'm done with this pattern. I'm going to act out, because having a bad, angry parent is far better than no parent at all. That's why these things get wired in. And when you want to change your health, what you have to do is, when the mom or dad walks in and sees little Billy and he's doing well, you do not walk away. You go in and give him pleasure. You high five him. You give him a big hug. Little Billy, you're awesome, man. Thanks for playing well. Then you go away. You go in the second time. Little Billy, rock star, way to go. The third time. The fourth time, he will misbehave. But the fourth time when you go in, he gets nothing. He gets stony silence. He gets no emotional return. And what you begin to do, even in the brain chemistry, is you are developing patterns where they get addicted to the positive chemicals, the dopamine, the serotonin levels when you're hugging and high-fiving, the neuropeptides when he feels great and he is pleasing you. So today, as you think about your health program, if you go to the gym, do you go, well, okay, or go, well, the gym kind of felt good, but you're not really feeling it, and you're not really feeling it at the 10, and then if you miss the gym or you screw up on your diet, you beat yourself up. And counterintuitively, this is developing a very screwed up psychology, just like don't spill the milk is a screwed up psychology. Pour the milk carefully is different. When you give yourself, when you go to the gym and you come out and you give yourself massive rewards, and it doesn't have to be money. You don't have to go to Nordstrom's with a $500 gift card. It's just really sitting in the car for 30 seconds and just going, I rock. I'm awesome. I feel great. I love this. What a hero I am. And when you screw up and you miss something, stony silence, no interaction with your psychology. You'd go, no, this can't be. This was not a good morning for me. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to crave positive. I'm going to crave great motion. And so in this world of pain and pleasure, to give yourself this energized positive, to feel great, to emotionalize it, and to get really, really creative on it, let me give you a hard example on what this might look like. Handful of years ago, I wanted to lose 20 pounds. Now, I went to 20 of my best friends and said, look, I want to bet you $20 that I can lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks. And here's what's going to happen. At the end of 6 weeks, if I succeed, I now have $400 because they all knew what was going on, and I'm going to throw a party for everybody, and we're going to celebrate my new body. And if I don't, I'm giving you 10 to 1 odds. I'm going to not have to pay you $20. I'm going to have to pay you $200. So I now had $4,000 at risk versus a $400 party I was going to throw for my friends. So I had massive pleasure waiting for me, if I could get my pen to work for me, and I had massive pain if I didn't. And it 20 wasn't 200 in a day. It was reasonable, it was realistic, but think about how hard 20 pounds sometimes can be in 6 weeks, which now leads us to one of the tools. I'm going to drop down because it makes sense to add this. When we're doing the I Have a Dream speech, I'm not going to give you the full tool. This is a 15-minute tool, and it's in other Inevitable You seminars. You can go find this on the same website, theinevitableyou.com/IHAD, I Have a Dream. In essence, what I talk about, and you'll see the slide down here, but the punchline is, most people give themselves a speech that says, I can't do this. And for those of you that can get into 10% and you're going to do these tools, dieting is still hard. But if you write an I Have a Dream speech that gives you goose pimples, that talks about, I have a dream, my body is, I have a dream, food is, I have a dream, exercise is, it will also rewire and put into the software massive pleasure to do these things. Versus, even in the hard diet arena, people are in more pain, less pain equations a lot of the time because they hate their diets versus loving the results and really giving themselves that I Have a Dream speech. And the last thing I always say about this tool is, have you ever used it? Do you like it? And in the 15 minutes, man, when you hear my I Have a Dream about my body, my workouts, my food, it's like it gives you goose pimples. People go, oh no, it's awesome. It never has. No, we all do. We use the other version. We use the I Have a Nightmare. I ain't my diet. It's so hard. I hate going to the gym. It's so hard. You don't give yourself goose pimples. You give yourself anxiety attacks. Beating yourself up. So we're going to work on changing that. Now, the next thing for tonight that we want to focus on is, again, there's legendary tools here in this system. Towards and Away is one of my biggest ones. It's the first one clients always watch. We have a lot of big tools at that level. A little lesser known, but equally powerful because it's a little bit later in sophistication of the program, is outside in versus inside out. Do you do things because you know what other people think, you know what will succeed, you know where this all fits, and you average yourself in, or you above average yourself in, and you're doing success achievements based on an outside in pattern, or when you're going inside out, you're marching to your own drummer. You're marching to your own beat. This is your song. This is who you are. This is who you want to be. And it's not based on what other people say. It's based on your song, your music, your health. That little 4-year-old you. And when you do things outside in, what this allows you to do is it really gives you the psychology and understanding between discipline versus self-discipline. And quite frankly, this is one I unfortunately know far too well. In a disciplined system, I'm not above average. I'm not extraordinary. I'm freaking epic. That's why I could go into elite military. That's why I could go into the Army Rangers. That's why I can create challenges and achievements and go get them. But my self-discipline, nobody to meet at the gym, I've always struggled with this. That's my Windows 61 software. Windows 2014, Windows 2020 loves to go to the gym. But if an old song on the radio comes on in the morning and knocks me back into my old psychology, I start having a debate with myself whether I want to go to the gym. But if I have set up a program where I have a buddy, and in the military we called these men and these women Ranger buddies, that we were accountable to them, and even, and I told you you'd get a military tool. Most people think that why would a soldier think about Saving Private Ryan? It's very realistic. It's one of 2 realistic war movies I recommend. They're on the beach and you think about why. Why would anyone leave that foxhole and pop their head up knowing certain death awaits them? And most people think, if you've not done this before or been around this type of psychology, people think you do it for mom, for apple pie, for your country. Yeah, no, that's not why you do it. The military has a singular brilliance at removing your identity, if you will, and it becomes all about the buddy. The reason why you get out of that foxhole, you're already dead. And you already got the letter written home. You don't want to die, but you're going to do it because you signed up to do it. And you're man up to it. But the way your buddy gets home is because you've been trained to come out of that foxhole. So when we look at changing our health at epic levels, we want to build a great buddy system.